Have a huge factor as to how things are going to play out in this next game as well.
I mean, Evos, they made it close, man. I really thought that RRQ would be a lot more dominant, but hey, I was wrong. Evos were able to actually match them and almost end the game even at one point, right? So I think it should be, if anything, I would say it's a good thing for Evos. Mentally, they know that they can match RRQ. It all comes down to the fine details, the few select moments in the game, and now, with that kind of confidence, right, being able to match RRQ in their own territory, the team fights, the chaotic fights like that, I think they can be a bit more confident, and maybe, right, they won't be as gun-shy as we saw in the previous game, but we're getting info right now.
Yeah, again, there's going to be a swap in players here. Evos Legends. Taz out for a Krite. What?
Oh my god.
We were talking about the solid player. The only guy who was being really consistent, doing the best that he can given the circumstances. He will no longer be in the roster as of right now.
Right, coming in, you know, this man had a solid performance back in Season 9. We gotta give him that, but he was on the Sicilian, on the Lilia as well. Mostly though, he was able to make crazy plays on the Sicilian, right? So,
yeah.
Well, before the season started, Zace mentioned that this man is the new captain for Evos Legends. Oh, he hasn't played a whole lot of games, only the first few games when Persik and Bajan was still in the roster too. It's pretty interesting now that they've given him the chance to play, and you know, maybe the last game of the season for Evos Legends. This is where a lot of questions are going to come out again. Synergy, communication. Is this what they need? A shot caller. That he's a team captain for a reason. That's why Zace put him as that role. Here though, Zace and RRQ, Hoshi's coach Fiel on the JBL. Quantum, sound and survival, crisp, clean communication coming in from both these coaches in the draft to tell them exactly what to do in game.
I don't know. Do you really think that this is the best decision for Evos Legends right now? Perhaps they're also keeping in mind about the power or the pool heroes that Krite can actually bring to the table. Maybe they want to go for that high ground this time around, and perhaps Taz isn't as comfortable. Not really sure what's happening.
You know, actually, if we're talking about like unique heroes, I would say that Taz has more unique heroes than Krite. Back in Season 9, when Krite played a whole lot of games, again, Sicilian, Yves, Lilia.
But maybe they want to go for someone like the Farsa, let's say.
Taz has played the Farsa, Lunox, Cho mid. He's played so many, every mid laner, honestly.
Well, we have no clue right here, man. You take a look at the bit of a game recap from the previous game. Taz was the impact player, as we can see here, and Albert was the impact player on the side of RRQ. Look at the total damage, though, for both these teams. It's really, really one-sided on the side of Evos. RRQ were just able to get the edge because they have that called altar. So we'll see if the Farmis makes an appearance yet again, right? Because I personally am not a fan, but RRQ, they just showed that they can make it work. It's not as strong, but in the right hands, it can be used to maximum effect. So I think it might be contested depending on how both these teams felt the impact was in the first game.
And I just remembered that this is the last match
for
both teams.
For Evos and RRQ, exactly.
The final match, the final say that they have for the regular season of MPL ID Season 10 before they head to the playoffs or not.
Well, right now, whether you like it or not, Krite is going to be the last hope for Evos Legends. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders here as his replacement is meant to be for the win. It's time to dive into the draft, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2. Evo still on the blue side, RRQ on the red. 1-1 Claude, same bands.
Still the same bands coming through for both of these teams. As Fanny is also going to be the choice of band for Evos. This is interesting. RRQ Hoshi, they understand the potential of Clover on the 1-1. It will be taken away from him. And the only hero that he's actually been able to perform on was the Melissa. So if RRQ Hoshi really want to put Clover in a tough position, they can go for the Melissa in that first phase of picks or even in the second phase of bans, as the next ban for RRQ Hoshi is going to be the Akai.
Denying it away from Tsutsugen, same old, same old. It's a true and try strategy against the new roster of Evos Legends. And now, will Evos respect one of the heroes on the previous game? Because I think they're... I don't know, like the Faramis, will they really think it's that worthy of a ban? Will they ban the Valentina instead? It's just so confusing because I think every single member from RRQ had a role to play in the previous game.
I think the Grok is still going to be banned out, right? For Evos. A bit too expensive to leave that open, right? But this is the exact same bans coming in from Evos. Claude, Fanny, Grok. Only in a different order. It was Grok banned first over to Fanny in game number 1. RRQ, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ban the Paquito, right? We saw that earlier in game 1. Then Evos picked up the Valentina. Now, does Evos want to pick up that Faramis first, right? You asked this question, Arashi. We'll see what Evos answer with.
Well, maybe just force Evos on the Valentina again. I'm not sure if Krite's comfortable on it.
Yeah,
and if they don't, then RRQ can actually pick it up for themselves. But no, actually, RRQ Hoshi have opted to ban away the Valentina.
I think you gotta push him onto Faramis instead. It's a unique playstyle that I don't think is quite as intuitive as the other mages, so maybe that's the idea. Paquito though we picked up, so RRQ, if they go for the exact same picks and bans, I don't know, the execution I think was really good in the previous game. They just were overcommitting a lot, so there's a chance that they can just go and play in a bit more controlled fashion and take control of game number 2.
Let's see, RRQ. In game number 1, they picked up the Faramis.
And the Balman.
I think right now there's nothing that is really stopping them from doing that. But they pick up the Faramis and the Esmeralda first. Now again, this leaves Evos open to actually go for a Dairoth instantly here, right? There's already a Faramis, an Esmeralda. This is where the Paquito flex pick can actually be utilized.
Balman maybe can be secured by Evos Legends. Albert is notorious on that Balman. He was playing a really good game in game number 1 as well, so maybe they want to have that neutral objective security for themselves.
Bigatron Alpha's Max, though, has a comment. Good luck and show what you got for Evos. We're waiting for you in the playoffs. Right now, we'll see, though, because Evos Legends are going to have to climb out of this 1-game deficit with their final 2 picks in the first phase.
They need to do a reverse sweep as well, but Evos Legends, to secure that first phase, they're going to be picking up the Dairoth once again. And picking up the Kadita. And now RRQ Hoshi, they're forced to think about this, right? Because if they put the Esmeralda in a lane with the Dairoth, it is going to be very difficult for them because the Esmeralda is going to lose in lane. It also denies the Balman pickup for RRQ Hoshi because it could be very difficult for those neutral objective takes. But if they want, they can go for the exact same thing that they did in game number 1.
Well, they go for the Atlas as I expected here, you know. Again, just going for basically the same draft, but with a Paquito on the enemy team instead of the Esmeralda that they had, right? So RRQ now gonna ban out the Diggy as you would with the Atlas pick.
It's a very good ban. So now RRQ, they have a better time securing the huge engage. But I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the Dairoth going in the lane. It can very easily still be a jungle Dairoth and an EXP lane Paquito. So RRQ are kept guessing for quite a bit longer. We'll have to see though. Will they actually allow the allow one of the earlier picks that RRQ were able to get from said Evos Legends? As we take a look at the gold lane from here, Clover and Skylar. I think for the most part, Skylar has shown to be the dominant one. But of course, Clover, he brings more than just performance, right? He brings a bit of a senior feel, right? He has a lot more experience, and he can maintain the atmosphere of his team. I think that is what a lot of people have been mentioning about Evo's Clover.
Both teams have yet to pick up their gold laner, and at this stage, Evos Legends banning this out might be detrimental right now for Evos, because when we're comparing both of these gold laners, Clover as well as Skylar, Skylar definitely has way more in his arsenal up his sleeves. So limiting this Brody, it might bite them back, and we'll see. Evos Legends, RRQ, they can just ban the Melissa here.
I agree. They might be shooting themselves in the foot right there with the Brody ban. Because RRQ, I agree with you. Go for the ban.
There you go.
Towards the Melissa. Now, Evos are in the hot seat. Remember, RRQ are going to have first pick in the second phase. They can just pick up a gold laner. Meanwhile, Evos, with Clover's hero pool, so far, he's only found success. Oh, we don't need to talk about that. He's only played 1-1, Melissa, Claude, Brody, Popol.
Beatrix carry.
Beatrix, we won't talk about Beatrix because I don't know. Right now, you know what? RQ are gonna pick up Beatrix. Who? RQ. Even after the nerfs, the only team that has picked up Beatrix was this man right here.
You are right.
And remember what he was able to do on the quote-unquote nerf Beatrix. Yeah.
Yep.
The read with his snipes. Evos ban out the Bruno, and I think it plays perfectly into RQ's plan.
No way, right?
Beatrix here.
Do they want to get the Balmond first though? Because the Beatrix is going to be very unexpected for the side of Evos Legends. If they get the Balmond, they have that pressure.
Yeah, I told you!
He goes straight for the Beatrix, man.
Oh man, it's a signature pick for Skylar.
It feels like so long ago since we've seen this Beatrix, dude.
Yeah. When was the last time Skylar, who was he up against?
Well, I don't remember at this point.
Yeah, it was a Beatrix. When he read out he just went for map hack snipes all across the board, yeah?
Yeah.
Evos though, with the response now, gold lane. At this point, I can only think of the Popol and Koopa. Carry as well, but
Clint?
do you want to go up against this competent one on a carry?
Irithel?
Irithel. Irithel's probably the only pick that I would be, you know, I'd recommend here for me personally. With the mobility,
so scary though.
It's very scary. And even if they go for an Irithel, you need to bring Purify.
You're right. We'll see in a few seconds.
Oh
my god!
Let's go.
Oh my god, we're gonna see a Harris pick from Evos Legends!
Alright.
Oh my god.
I like it.
Bro! Clover back with his Harris. We haven't seen this since...
Oh my god.
What season? Season 7?
Seven. We've been mentioning this so many times backstage, Arashi.
Right.
With all the analysts together, we've been talking about it. Why have they kept Clover? And every single time we think, sure, mental aspect, helping the team out, but he's so diverse when it comes to the gold lane, not in terms of marksmen, in terms of mages, Barca, Lunox, Harith, but we've never seen it. Now, I don't know if Evos Legends were trying to save this for the playoffs, but now it's time, right? To show everything you've got. It's make it or break it, and RRQ, they went for a Lancelot. This is a solid pick up against so much engage, so much CC. You want to have that invulnerability. You want to have that mobility as well. Up against the Harith though, we'll see how it plays. Harith is going to bring the Purify, in my opinion, right here. And remember, just as a fact, Evos Legends on the back of their victories, usually when they win trophies, it's on the back of the Harith. M1, Season 7, Season 4.
Wow. There's some history there, but I really fear for Evos because they are very, very squishy. They might have the same problem they had in the first game, and now the only real tanky person could most likely be the Paquito, not even the Esmeralda. So we'll see how aggressive can Evos get in the early game. If they're able to take control, I think it's the same story. Once the Lord is in the picture, RRQ will have more control, but of course anything can happen before that point of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jump into the land of Dawn. The last hope for Evos Legends on their M1 skin. Harith, will it bring them to glory with the Krite change in the mid lane as well?
I love how poetic this game has just become and how ironic it is as we are gonna see how this all pans out here. It does, you're right, Clover as well as Krite both on the Purifies. They are going to start respecting the outcomes that RRQ Hoshi can definitely have with the Atlas once again in the hands of Vin as Skylar uses that emote.
Well, in the side lane though, R7 is going to have a tough time going up against the Dairoth. It's in the hands of Pendragon though, so Sutsujin is the Paquito in the jungle with the killing spree, so he is going for blood. And for Albert, he's going with the Demon Slayer, so still having a lot of potential. This is the same situation. There's always a sandwich when the main caster casts their vote.
Yeah, well, for me, you know, in game one, I actually preferred Evos Legends this draft. I thought they would be able to have a little bit more dynamic to play with, more win conditions. But in game two, at this point, it's the last hope for Evos, right? If they lose with their signature Herod, with Krite stepping in, it's over.
We'll see how this pans out. Dreams already trying to put pressure onto RRQ Hoshi. Unfortunately, for the moment, they still have not been able to get anything on the board. But we see that Vin has forced the flicker earlier on, right before the turtle fight in that bottom side.
For now, I think Evos Legend still has the control. They have more burst damage potential, and RRQ, they'll be waiting for later on. If Albert doesn't get shut down though, he'll be able to have a lot of targets, but now Vin is the one getting pummeled.
2 games in a row, it's Sutsujin getting the first blood onto Vin. I don't know what Sutsujin has against Vin personally, man, but he always seems to be able to get that first blood. Even back then in the El Clasico, first time around, Sutsujin first onto the turtle. RRQ with no response just yet. It seems like Evos Legends will be able to pick this up, but look at that. Albert jumping in, goes in for the Retribution. Will be able to find it again with the style as Cult Ulcer is going to be placed there. It's going to be R7 picking up the kill. Pendragon taken low, crying in the midst of it all. Doesn't have the black shoes anymore. Will fall as well to the hands of RRQ Hoshi.
2 members taken down as RRQ Hoshi once again with the upper hand. We do see Skylar going 1v1 against Clover.
Oh, the
but
punish
now
though.
He's gonna get taken down, and that is another pickup on the board for RRQ Hoshi, solidifying their gold lead to 2,000.
They go for burst damage composition against a Faramis. This is exactly what the new cult, well, I call it the new cult altar, but without an abundance of HP, it just nullifies a lot of burst potential, and that is exactly what Evos Legends need to do for their win condition. So I don't know about this. Lilia is the only real threat, I feel like, for RRQ Hoshi, but they have assassins on their team, so Krite is going to have a very difficult time trying to output that damage without being bursted down.
But honestly, what do you guys think about the Harith and the Beatrix matchup in that gold lane?
I honestly feel like it's a stalemate. Both of these members are going to be able to farm all right. What Harith needs to do is look for all-ins once he gets level 4, but with RQ's mid lane pressure, I don't see that happening. I don't see the Harith able to go for those all-ins.
He did try to go for all-in earlier, but it was under the turret first of all, and then he got punished by the roam, so it's just a tough spot here as RRQ. They're looking for a dive most likely, but no, they make a play in the mid and side.
Oh, what's going on? Bottom side actually with Pendragon. Dreams is able to find a kill, a good trade on the board as they notice RRQ rotated up top. Pendragon getting a little bit of gold there from the turret. And for Albert, just jumps in, trying to zone him away. We'll be able to pick up the XP as well. Because now we're going to slow down the tempo. Because RRQ, they're not really looking for anything too crazy. Clover, whoa, very aggressive play. Has the Purify, has dished out a lot of damage onto Skylar. That's actually a really good amount of damage placed in by Clover on the M1 skin.
Evos Legends, they don't have a lot of their resources though coming into this fight. So RRQ Hoshi, they do have the better chance of securing this turtle.
Let's see, RRQ better set up. Albert picking up the Retribution, and look at that. Krite able to get out with the Purify and the black shoes, but it's still going to be Sutsujin taken out.
1,600 gold lead for RRQ Hoshi, really solidifying their control in game number 2. Just like you guys can grab food using the grab discount, 90%, scan the QR code to get your 90% discount. As back in the game here, doesn't seem like Clover is having too much of a good time.
Right, Beatrix is just way too flexible, so depending on what you're trying to do, Beatrix can select a different weapon and try and match what you're doing here. So with the Zaman Force being popped up, all Skylar has to do is back away and poke again at him with the Renner. So it's very difficult, but RRQ Hoshi, be careful about the EXP lane right here. That is where Evos Legends is putting a lot of their attention at.
They have to shut him down. We all know how much damage he can actually do if he snowballs. Right now, he is behind, and you saw how much damage he was able to do with just one Zaman Force. And I think RRQ are making the right decision. Playing around the Beatrix Dream though. Going in again, R7 not having a good time at all on that bottom side. Evos are doing exactly what RRQ are doing towards Clover.
Mirror plays for both teams right now, and right now we can see that R7 already taken down twice in a row. But oh my god!
Right, has the black shoes, can get out. It's very scary because Skylar has a BOD now. I think if he had it just now, it would have been a bit scary, man.
Only if he had the right weapons, or there was a bit of a miscommunication there, because I didn't quite see the ultimate get popped up, but with a BOD, there's going to be a lot of damage from now on. But of course, Calamity Reaver competed for Clover as well, so he will need to be focused down in these bigger fights. And Albert is still going for the War Axe, getting a bit more stacks, a bit more movement speed. He likes this playstyle a lot more.
Well, Clover already going to go with the Zaman Force onto the turret. Woo! This is what you want to expect for this pick, but the waves were cleared out. Now top side though, Dreams again with the dive, looking for it. R7 pops the sprint, no Petrify for Dreams, so there's not going to be that kill pressure that they usually have in though. Where are they going to go in onto Krite? Maybe trying to force out that Purify. A good snipe, almost taking down Krite. Skylar on point as usual, but it will just be another opening for RRQ to look for the neutral objective.
Wow. Right now the side lanes very much favor Evos Legends, but as a result, they're really neglecting their mid laner. And Krite, he is still level with Clay, but later on, he needs a lot more resources to be able to output that damage, melt through the front line. So maybe Evos needs to start giving him some attention as well.
Evos Legends, though, they're not standing idly by here. They are focusing in that top side, able to get that third tier as well. Looking for the second even, as all three members are grouping up, trying to punish R7 once again. It's interesting, right? They haven't been able to shut down Skylar, and that's quite scary. Leave Skylar alone, you blink a few times, and suddenly he does so much damage. We even saw how much damage the Renner had on the Lilia, even this earlier on in the game.
I guess the idea is with the burst damage, they want to make sure that anyone they jump on can get taken out. If R7 gets the items, it's going to be difficult, but Dreams gets spotted.
Oh my god, a very good read there. Albert just went for the Phantom Execution there. Skylar trying to go for a cheeky poke, but RRQ, they've used up 3 ultimates there. So, my god, Albert does a lot of damage onto Dreams. But yeah, there's not really going to be much they can do right now, and they don't really need to take these fights. Waiting for the neutral objective, next one to spawn.
Top side is still pushing though, and that's quite scary. They might want to try and clear that away first. We did see in game number 1 that the wave manipulation was lacking, but Pendragon here caught in a bad situation.
Yeah, that's going to be a pick off for RRQ again. Pendragon. There was no pressure on the map, but he still stayed on the bottom side. A little bit of an overcommitment, but so Tsujin, is he going to go for this? He does, goes in for Clay, has the cult alter, goes, and he's able to assassinate Clay. But in the mid lane, Dreams as well, falling to the hands of Albert. So Tsujin trying to run away. Skylar has the snipes! Boom! Headshot, Skylar picks up the kill. Albert jumping onto Krite, who has the Purify and the black shoes, but he's just going to opt for the purple buff. Skylar picking up the turret down below. With R7 now, they can convert on the next neutral objective.
3,000 a gold lane, but remember, they have to be careful with the waves. It's still crashing in favor for Evos Legends in that top side. RRQ Hoshi though, because of the man advantage, because of the momentum that they receive from those kills, they are going to be able to get this Lord without contest from Evos Legends.
All the neutral objectives so far have been controlled by RRQ, and Evos Legends have, well, the ones that they have been able to contest for, it hasn't worked out for them.
I think they're going to be forced to use one of the big, the big pick-off potentials to try and take out Vin on that Atlas. They don't have the same kind of tankiness to try and look for info to scout out the area, so they need to try and delete him and get equal that way instead, because otherwise it's all Vin just walking ahead and pushing everyone from Evos Legends back. In the back line though, we do see that Dreams, he's waiting for a very specific moment. It might pay off here, but oof.
Oh no, Sutsujin caught out. Oh my god, immobilized, instantly knocked up. Sutsujin, a bit too greedy with that flank. There was no one in position, even if he was able to find a knockout strike. Unfortunate for the jungler for Evos Legends. RRQ find another free pick-off.
Oof. Look at Skylar scouting away behind him, with knowing that Dreams could be lurking around the corner. Right now, R7 is escorting the Lord towards the bottom side, and RRQ will be predictably there. So Dreams, this is his chance to make something happen, but of course in the back line, it comes with the conceal though.
Skylar gonna be caught. Rough Waves popped in, but the cult altar as well by Clay. And a snipe to add insult to injury. Skylar able to dish out more damage to Dreams than Dreams can onto him.
They have
But
to be
top side,
careful.
oh, Pendragon.
Exactly.
He's been busy up top now. He might actually be able to take a little bit of HP, but no, he's not going to overcommit this time. He's going to back off. RRQ decide to recall as well. At least Evos this time are able to find a little bit of that trade up top.
They're trying to alleviate a little bit of pressure at least, right, in the top side. But as it stands, RRQ Hoshi still with a 4,400 gold lead.
And the tankiness coming in from Vin is just solid right now. And take Kuras to deal with the Direwolf and the Paquito. And of course, the Radiant Armor to deal with the multiple instances coming in from the Kadita and the Lilia. So it's really very solid. And Evos, they'll be forced to try and move around Vin, or they have to try and focus Vin down before anything can happen, lest they get caught in a huge Fatal Links. We've seen how that ended in the previous game. Oh.
Here though, you know, let's take a look at the items, right? Clover has the Calamity Reaper, Feather as well, and a Holy Crystal. I don't think it's enough damage just right now as Vin jumps in, just to zone the other members away.
Oh no.
Dream's gonna be caught, still has dash right there, but wait, what's going on? Two fights are brewing here, and it's actually Skylar who's winning it out. Another disaster for Evos Legends. Clover falls, Cry jumps back with the black shoes only to give his life over to Skylar. Evos Legends, for the first time in history, might not make it to playoffs. So Jin gets a solo kill against Albert, but what is it for here? So RRQ are going to be able to take the base turret down below. They might actually be able to siege down the mid lane as well. So Jin, he needs to make a massive play here. Falling Downwind placed in just to give space over to Skylar to take the base turret down. Just as expected, they're able to siege it down with the Renner.
Ooh, what is that damage? Dreams comes in for the play though.
God. Oh! Gunned down to the ground by Skylar.
Dreams taken down just like that, and this is going to give RRQ Hoshi a bit more momentum in terms of that Lord. 2 seconds left on the clock for Albert to spawn as Sutsujin already taken very low, being zoned away by the damage coming in from Skylar on the Renner. Evos Legends forced to flee, forced to fall back, forced to retreat as RRQ Hoshi once again able to secure this next Lord.
2,700 damage on a single shot. What is this quote-unquote nerfed Beatrix, man?
I told you it wasn't really nerfed.
Even on the Nibiru, Krite, he gets taken out in 2 hits.
Yeah.
Only 2 hits and he's gone.
You know why? Nibiru got buffed.
No
So
way,
yeah,
dude.
they nerfed the Renner. They nerfed the damage from Renner.
Quote-unquote nerf.
Yeah, but they added a little bit more. The hitbox is bigger. For Wesker, they nerfed the hitbox, but they added damage. So again, that's why I was kind of curious. Oh my god, it's another snipe onto Krite. But that was why I was curious. Why? Why is Beatrix not being picked up here? Right now, Skylar's proving that, you know, even after the nerfs, it's still very much viable, especially when you get through those item power spikes.
You can see Evos Legends trying to alleviate the pressure in that bottom side. They're looking for a flank.
Oh,
They're looking for a miracle run here as Evos Legends forced to defend.
Let's see. 3 base turrets taken down. That's going to be actually the Zaman Force popped in. Vin goes in, able to find Sutsujin. Pendragon again going in. Dreams trying to go for the miracle play. Clover cannot do anything. It's an absolute disaster. RRQ secure upper brackets. They also knock their bitter rivals down to the ground.